Yup. That's y'all. I'm back to do another blog run through with y'all, blog talk, whatever we want to call it, y'all. I'm back to do it. But of course, let's check the mics. Sorry, y'all. This is just protocol. There's no other way for me to pre-check this. Yeah, because each live stream, you just never know what's going on, and that's just unfortunately how YouTube works, or these devices work, I should say. At this point, I don't know who the fuck it is. If it's YouTube, the devices, or the goddamn universe. When I say that, I mean just energy. Yeah. All right, y'all. So yeah, let me see what's going on. I ain't gonna lie. Oh, turn my keyboard on. Wow. Yo, I'm not even lying. I don't know if this be God, but this stuff is be the first stuff on my screen when I don't scroll. I don't come in beforehand, y'all know. So I don't know what this be about, but I'm here to talk. I'm here to talk about it, y'all. It says disturbing. Chile and co-sentenced to 25 years for sexual exploitation of children and grooming. Started abusing one girl at 15. Requested images of her body in exchange for money, THC, and vapes. And I believe it, y'all. I believe it 100%. I do, and I'm gonna tell y'all why. Because it's just like back when cigarettes and stuff first came out. I don't think those was as harder to get. Like I don't think they was that strict. But it's anything like alcohol, anything that they know a child want or a child depend on. First of all, shouldn't no child be smoking any of these or using any of these THC or vapes. But obviously they don't. They want them and they don't have the money for them. And I told y'all about this peer pressure stuff that be going on. Hey, I told y'all about this peer pressure stuff that be going on in these schools. And I told y'all how sometimes what happens is, even though these kids might not necessarily be into these things, they might feel the need to be into them because of what their peers and other classmates and other students are doing. So I 100% believe it. Let's listen to what's going on. Because apparently this is one of the girls. And it looks like she might have been one of those kids that parents, probably got a couple of dollars, but probably just don't get, probably like me, don't just give their kids money for the hell of it. It's like what you need it for.
5 years with the first 12 years to be served in prison. Yesterday, one of his former cheerleaders said the plea has brought her some closure, but I do want to warn you that some of the details are hard to hear.
I'm getting justice for myself and for the people who feel like they can't come forward.
19-year-old Lily Penn is speaking out against her former cheerleading coach, Charles Moore III. He pleaded guilty this week to several charges.
Let's get him on screen.
Exploitation of children and grooming of a minor.
Yeah, Lexi.
Turning 16. And we started to get that, like...
I tell you.
Charles Moore III to 25 years with the first 12 years to be served in prison. Yesterday, one of his former... Oh, is this real? Charles Moore III to 25 years with the... says Moore would talk to her on Snapchat. She says he also got close to her family members during that time, but then she says things escalated.
When we got to practice and he was our coach, he would start being like, why aren't you answering me? And all this, like, just texting me and stuff. And then he started to say inappropriate things, and then eventually asked me if I would, I guess, do stuff with him at the cheer gym in his car. And I expressed hesitation, was like, no, I have a boyfriend, I'm good.
And says Moore was then intimate with her.
He was like, no, it's fine, everything's gonna be fine. Like,
this what happen when you drink the milky stuff early.
like, you're not going to be in trouble or anything. And then after that happened, he kind of switched and was like, no one can find out about this. You can't tell anyone.
Moore was arrested in 2024. Penn says she testified at his plea hearing this week.
Some days they bring him out in the courtroom, and I was just like, I am fine. Like, I can look at you. I'm not scared of you, whatever. And then other days they'd bring him out, and I just, like, couldn't help but cry. Because, like, how can...
So he basically sexually assaulted her? Yeah, and it's like, I almost want to go as far as to say lock his ass up for life simply because this was premeditated. This wasn't some, and I'm not saying that anyone that, has a spirit on them that's being operated by, another entity makes it less of an excuse, but I can tell when something is premeditated, and that doesn't mean that that person doesn't have a spirit on them as well, but it's something about this premeditation. It's something about, him being sure to make sure that, he was giving them something in return so that, they could, in his head, they wouldn't necessarily tell, you know what I mean? And then, of course, that's like that's not always the MO for every, predator. Some predators are straight out predators. They ain't even got nothing for the goddamn people that they preying on. But, that's why it's something about this and him, let her know, reinforcing the statement of, no one can know about this. It's like, so you knew exactly what you was doing, sir. You knew exactly what you was doing. And I'm going to keep it a being, y'all. I feel like men shouldn't be cheerleader coaches. No. Let me tell y'all something. When I was growing up and I was cheerleading, we did not need a man to teach us how to do our stunts, to teach us how to flip nobody in the air, to teach us. We didn't need a man to do that. We didn't, y'all. We just had strong coaches that, was able to teach us how to do what we needed to do. I don't believe it. I feel like if they can't do it, then they can't do it. But I don't believe a man should be a cheerleader's coach. Too much hands-on activity, and it's for real, y'all. Like when I say that, I mean it's too much hands-on activity. Not to say that women can't be predators as well, but let's not act like men don't go for these little women.
I do want to warn you that some of the details are hard to hear.
Let's not act like let's not act like some of these men don't I mean sometimes these men don't I mean the ratio of men coming on to younger girls is higher than the ratio of women coming on to younger girls.
Another thing too, man, is y'all starting to get on my nerve. Another thing too, man, is y'all starting to get on my
Then we got whoa. I ain't gonna lie, y'all.
Good morning, welcome to today.
This is awkward. It says Savannah Gertie returns to Today Show despite FBI not being able to find her missing mother after more than 2 months. It's good to be home. Okay.
On this Monday morning, we are so glad you started your week with us, and it is good to be home.
Yes, it is good to have you back at home.
Well, here we go, ready or not. Yeah. Let's do the news.
Yes, so good to have you back. Huh? Yeah. SG, come on out here.
You know what, y'all? I started to have something to say about this, and then I thought about it, and I was like, yo, it's America. We all gotta fucking work. Like, I'm sorry, y'all. Like, but her working. This doesn't mean that she still doesn't have people actively searching for her mother. A part of me was getting ready to be like, what the fuck she doing back at work? But then I had to think about it, like, yo, like, I'm not trying to be funny or nothing, but if my mom go missing today or tomorrow, like, I don't know how much work I can afford to can I get some likes up, y'all? I don't know how much work I can afford to miss out on after 2 months of looking for her. Some people they only keep money saved up for a good 2-3 months. You know what I'm saying? If something go wrong, she probably had to get the fuck back. She probably like funds looking low up in that account. Let me get back over here for a little bit. Show my face, do what I need to do. Put my brave face on because I'm sure this wasn't easy. But she still has a job to do, and her job is not to come on camera and be in bad spirits. So we have to take that into consideration as well. And that's why it might come off as, at first it might come off as I don't give a fuckish because she's back at work. But let's be honest, these talk show hosts don't get paid millions of dollars, y'all. These talk show people, they don't get paid whole lot of money. And the lifestyles they live, they have to keep up with them. So, how much keeping up with them can they keep up with them if they ain't doing nothing to keep up with them, meaning working, whatever their type of work is. So, yeah, y'all, that's why some people can't stop working even when a death coming or like that, because it's like, you know, the bills don't stop coming. That's what it is, y'all. And it's like, unfortunately, the world is just not set up right now where, you know, you have these paid days off for grief and all that. Some jobs do, but a lot of them don't. A lot of them don't, y'all. They want your ass back at work. Hey, y'all. Shout out to everybody. I was thinking, like, let me get a little closer to y'all. About a number. It's a Fox News question: string of missing or deceased highly important scientists connected to sensitive research. Well, this is no news, and I hate to say it, but it's really not, y'all. When I say that, I mean, um, they've been it's been a conspiracy out there that people that report on certain stuff, excuse me, and reveal too much information. That's been a conspiracy that they go missing or whatever. We don't know those. We don't. We don't know if those people are in hiding or whatever. We really don't know, y'all. So it's like um, it's a conspiracy until proven so. That's all. We're not saying that some people ain't going missing. Like yo, I believe in a lot that can happen, but there's been some cases where we found out that these scientists just went to go live quieter lives. It's a wow. Identify the man. Is this the one? This the one that happened in Showingham and like basically Showingham is Philly. It say, wow, man arrested after being banned from Planet Fitness for unpaid dues, then allegedly returning to stabbing an employee multiple times. Hmm. Prayers up to that young man. I want to say that. Prayers up to whoever it happened. I don't know if it was a man or a woman, but prayers up to that employee, y'all. I don't believe nobody should be stabbed or hurt. While they're at work, especially. I don't know what the case was. I don't know if any words was exchanged. I don't know if these two people knew each other outside of Planet Fitness. I don't know, but I'm just going to prayers up because that's what it is. It's a sad situation. It is, and it needs prayer. The world needs prayer, is what I'm trying to say. Like for this type of stuff to be going on. Here Jake Paul go being a culture vulture. When I say that, I mean who asked him to enter the convo? Talking about Jake Paul says he's planning to do a blackface skit in response to Drewski's recent skit. That's fine. We don't see this is the tea. Jake Paul, we don't care. We're no longer affected by any of that. To us, we feel like you're making a fool of yourself because if it's no true meaning behind the skit, then it doesn't matter. And Jake Paul, you have nothing to combat this. You have nothing to combat this. You have nothing to combat Drewski's skit. So you specifically saying you coming on to do blackface is just letting us know that you don't really care about the skit. You care more. This is a racist thing. This is a race thing for you. This is a color thing for you, huh, Jake? Yeah, I bet so. Cause you've been on that tight time. And it's sad because I don't even believe your brother's like that. But I believe you are. I believe you are. Yeah, just because two got the same, come from the same household, don't mean they the same motherfuckers at all. But I don't, I ain't speaking up too much for the brother. I'm just saying I just noticed, Jake, it's you always out here saying this type of stupid shit. And always wanting to enter into something that nobody asked you to be a part of. That's why I called you a culture vulture. Because of this type of stuff right here. You just want to be a part of the culture talk. That's it. That's it. So, listen, I know some people out there that gotta make their coins. I know if he do a skit, y'all gonna post it or whatever, y'all gonna talk about it. So do what y'all gotta do. But for anybody that can skip past that subject, skip past it. Don't get that motherfucker no goddamn clout. Don't give him no clout. Y'all, it's a unprofessional client catches hair salon owner going off on stylist on camera. That's not that owner don't give a fuck about what you caught on camera, sis. She know people coming in there recording. They ain't gonna stop her from doing her job and being a business owner. Now you saying when the owner doesn't realize you're recording how she treats her staff, this is what I'm gonna say. You don't know what goes on when you're not there, sweetheart. You don't know what goes on the back end, on the business end. You just know when you come in and get your hair done and when you book your appointment. That's all you know. But let me say something though. I will say, as the owner, this is exactly why you pull your goddamn stylist and you pull your employees to the back. Pull them to the back because you got nosy folks like this. I would have never caught this on camera because it's messy. It's messy. Whatever she handling in her business, that's her business. I'm here to get my hair done. I ain't here to be in her business. I ain't here to be worrying about how she talk to her clientele or whatever. Because if they really got an issue with it, they could go somewhere else. They could go somewhere else. So the pity for that, that's not going. That's not going, sis. That you just made yourself look like, you know what I'm saying? Like you tried to expose something. You just make yourself look lame, sis. You look like you ain't had nothing. You should have been in there. You should have been there recording your videos and putting them on mute or whatever, and getting your style, getting your clips in to do what you need to do. But instead, you in there recording and be nosy. Oh, and that's how we get this type of behavior. And this is exactly why I wouldn't permit her back at my fucking establishment, because she knew that it was a sensitive subject. And instead of her saying, you know what, I'm going to have some class and decorum and not even be a part of this, she decides to record it. That's what she decides to do. And this is exactly why I don't do hair. because you got certain nosy people that will be all up in your business just because you doing their hair. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, mind your fucking business. Mind your business, y'all. I hope that owner bans her and tells that stylist she can't have that client. Let's get some lights up. She's not allowed to get that client in her business anymore for recording how she reprimands her employees and what goes on. That's none of her fucking business. You there to get your hair done, and if you don't like the energy and you don't like the way the owner is talking to the stylist, then you don't have to come back. But like I said, as the business owner, take your employees to the back. Let's get some lights up. Next time, take your employees to the back or whatever, business owner, because you see you got nosy people that will come in here just to record, pretend like they recording their hair, and really the whole time they up in here recording, being nosy about what's going on because they ain't got nothing going on at home. Let's get some likes up. That's really what it be. All right, y'all. I might have to do. I think I'm gonna do all this in one. So I got a little bit of a. I got a little bit of an unpackaging video. I'm gonna have to put my thing on for this because I gotta be free-handed. Yeah, I hope y'all can hear me. So, I'm gonna knock all this out in one. I did enough of the blog talk, so let's get into the unpackaging. I don't know if I'm gonna match these with y'all today or not. Oh, these are my Pilates socks that came, y'all. I don't know if I want to show y'all. I can show y'all, yeah. I was gonna say I don't know if I want to show y'all now or when I start my what you call, but I figured I'd show y'all now because I unpackaged them with y'all. So yeah, don't need to keep them a secret. But I got a few more pairs I want to order. That's super cute, y'all. So I got this first pair. They are Pilates socks, y'all. Yes. Shout out to y'all for the likes. Thank you. It say Pilates and coffee. You know I love me some decaf coffee. I love the bows, y'all. And I got some socks that come and call they say Pilates gal. And I love that, y'all. And these is the other ones. Let's get some likes up. And yeah, y'all, this came in a 3-pack, so I got a couple other ones I want to buy that is separate, and I understand why they're separate because they super cute. I understand why they selling them separate. And yeah, of course, y'all, I had to buy more lip glosses because when I realized that we sold out of the other ones, I was like, we might actually need more than just the ones we had ordered the other day. I was like, let's get another pack just in case. And then I bought 2 packs of 24 waist beads because I want to be super loaded on this stuff so that first of all, it saves in delivery, well, shipping cost and all like that. It saves in that, y'all, and I'm a saver, y'all. When I say that, I mean whatever I could do to save money, that's what I prefer to do. So I knocked all this out at once, and look, y'all. Oh wait, these came together. Okay, yes, y'all. I love these ones because they look a little bit bigger. Yeah, I think I might stick with this company that I ordered these from. Yeah, I'm feeling these, y'all. I'm feeling these for sure, y'all. Yeah, I love how stretchy they are. So, of course, I'm going to come back and match them with y'all or whatever. I don't know when, but y'all know I'm going to be back. And I wanted to show y'all that because we got a bunch of different colors, y'all. And more than likely, I'll show y'all the rest once we get the matching. A part of me feel like I never had this pack before because I see certain colors in here that I just remember certain stuff. And yeah, no, I never had these colors before, but they go hard. I'm gonna match one bag of 24, and I'm gonna keep the other bag. Hey y'all, hey everybody, let's get some likes up. I'm gonna keep the other bag for the waist beads that we sell, y'all. I got 24. I got 2 packs of 24 because we sell them in 3s. So that 1 pack we're gonna be able to get 8 sets out of, and then the next pack we'll be able to get 8 sets. And I said that I like these sizes way better than the sizes we had before. Shout out to everybody that joined. And excuse me, y'all. Because of that, I think I'm gonna stick with this specific brand. Yeah, y'all. That's one thing I like about Amazon is they save. Like everything you buy is saved. So when you go back, like it'll tell you like that you purchased it before. So you know like that's the one that you're looking for. But yeah, so we got the lip glosses. I ain't gonna lie, y'all. I do need to fill lip glosses, and that's more than likely something that I'm gonna be doing soon. But yeah, this is what I'm gonna do next, y'all, because we got so many waist beads. I'm gonna throw some anklets in there. This is the only problem with throwing anklets in there, right? The waist beads cost more, and when you're doing business, you know, and you're trying to get to the money, you know what I'm saying? Uh, and you give the customer the option, they might go with the lower one, meaning like I only sell my anklets for like 3 for $5 or 3 for $6, y'all. I don't sell them for much at all. I almost feel bad stuff selling them for 3 for $6 because most people don't carry like $1 bills and stuff. They barely carry money at all. Like the stuff I post from our business, that's just the Cash App and Apple transactions. That's not even the cash, y'all. So like I said, you know, if somebody got a quick $5 on them, they might say, hey, okay, yeah, I'll grab the anklets. And they might not even think about the waist beads. They might not even think, you know, to say, you know, let me just cash app the $10 for the waist beads because that's what I really want. You know what I'm saying? And I know that as a shopper myself that I can be that way as well, y'all. I can be very much so, you know, indecisive, you know? And that's why I said I'm thinking about adding the anklets, but if I go out and sell the anklets, if she go out and sell the anklets, the only thing with that is it's going to have to be like I might have to up the price on the waist beads. So like if she go out for the anklets and the waist beads and of course the lip glosses, then I will either have to up the lip glosses or up the waist beads. And more than likely, I will up the lip glosses simply because of the labor that I put into making them. Yeah. I wouldn't really up too much of the waist beads because, like I said, I just don't feel comfortable with that. But I put a lot of labor and work into getting these lip glosses together. So if anything, I will change the prices to those for that day that she goes out with them. That way we could kind of we could kind of make up for whatever losses we take with selling the anklets for 3 for $5. And that's why I got to be careful with what we sell because we don't want to sell something that's too cheap to where, you know, and don't get me wrong, you got some people that buy multiple packs of the anklets, but it's still a price knocked in. It's still a loss of profit from what we're used to, you know. She would have to sell like 2 times more of the waist bead of the anklets that she does the waist beads to come up with the same, you know, profit, you know. So that's how that go, y'all. Income, profit, whatever you want to call it, y'all. Because I know profit is technically when you what is it called? Deduct, you know, all of the money that you put out on there or whatever. Yeah. Most of the times I don't use the right words, y'all, but hey, I tried. But I love y'all. Shout out to everybody for coming through. Like, share, subscribe, y'all. And happy Monday. And y'all make sure y'all stay blessed. All praise to the Most High Yahweh and His Son Yeshua. I love y'all.